This is Mindfulness with Richard Clarke. I focus on mindfulness meditation. Listen, reflect, and deeply meditate. Today, I'm going to talk about mindfulness and listening to your inner voice. In our busy lives, it can be easy to lose touch with our inner voice, the quiet, guiding self that resides beneath the constant chatter of daily distractions. Mindfulness meditation offers a way to quiet your attention to external noise and reconnect with this deeper wisdom. By practicing mindfulness, you create a space to hear and trust your inner voice, which can lead to greater clarity, peace, and purpose in your life. At its core, mindfulness meditation is about paying attention to the present moment with openness and curiosity. Mindfulness invites you to observe your thoughts and feelings as they arise without judgment or attachment. This practice cultivates a sense of stillness, allowing you to tune into the subtle messages of your inner voice. Often, this voice is drowned out by external demands or self-doubt. But when you turn your attention inward, you begin to recognize its steady presence. One of the most significant benefits of listening to your inner voice through mindfulness is a stronger connection to your authentic self. Your inner voice is not influenced by societal expectations or external pressures. It reflects your truest values and desires. By learning to trust this voice, you can make decisions that align with who you truly are, rather than who you think you should be. For many people, this is a big deal. To incorporate mindfulness into listening to your inner voice, try setting aside a few minutes each day to sit in silence. It just takes a few minutes and the ongoing commitment to take a few minutes each day for yourself. Begin by focusing on your breath, noticing the feeling and sensation of air entering and leaving your body. Just watch your breath. When your mind starts to wander, gently bring it back to your breath. Over time, this practice will help to quiet the mental noise, making it easier to hear the whispers of your inner wisdom. Here are some examples to help illustrate how mindfulness can guide you in listening to your inner voice. Imagine you are facing a difficult decision and your mind feels clouded with conflicting opinions and fears. Imagine how you think and what you feel. Then, by practicing mindfulness, you can step back from the noise and connect with your inner clarity. Sit quietly, breathe deeply, and be open to knowing what feels right for me. Often the answer emerges not as a loud proclamation, but as a subtle sense of knowing. Another technique is body awareness. Your inner voice often communicates through sensations in your body. There is a physical body aspect for emotions. Feel that. During mindfulness practice, pay attention to how your body feels when you think about a particular choice or situation. Does it feel tight or relaxed, heavy or light? These sensations can offer valuable clues about what's going on with you. One element of mindfulness is learning to observe yourself more completely and better. This doesn't promise immediate answers or constant certainty, but it does provide a pathway of knowing yourself and leads to greater trust in yourself. By listening to your inner voice, you can cultivate a deeper sense of self-awareness and self-compassion. This voice is often not in words, but in feelings and a knowledge that is deeper than words. You navigate life with more confidence, knowing that your choices are rooted in authenticity. Mindfulness meditation, then, is not just a tool for managing stress or improving focus. It is a way of knowing yourself, of reconnecting with the essence of who you are. By practicing mindfulness, you give yourself the gift of truly listening to your breath, your body, and ultimately listening to yourself. And in that listening, you may find the guidance and peace you've been seeking all along. It was within you all the time. Now, we'll do a guided meditation on listening to your inner voice. Sit in a comfortable position. Close your eyes and take a deep breath in. As you exhale, let your shoulders relax and feel your body settle into stillness. Bring your attention to your breath. Notice the rhythm of your inhalation and exhalation. Feel your breath come in and go out. Feel the cool air as it enters your nostril and the warmth as it leaves. Allow any thoughts or distractions to come and go like clouds passing through the sky. There's no need to push them away or hold on to them. Simply return the focus to your breath. Now connect with your body. Gently scan it, starting from the top of your head and moving down to your feet and each toe. Notice any areas of tension or ease. Pay attention to how your body feels right in this moment. Bring to mind something you've been thinking about, questioning. Ask yourself, what feels true for me? Sit with the question, allowing any sensations, thoughts, or feelings to arise without forcing an answer. Just observe what is there for you. In the same way, when you feel some kind of tension or stress, you can sit with that and observe it. Just observe what is there for you. Now, just rest in the silence. Trust that your inner voice is present, even if it feels faint. Sometimes clarity comes not in words, but in a sense of calm or knowing. Just rest in the silence. Slowly bring your awareness back to your breath. Take a few deep breaths, allowing the air to fill your lungs and energize your body. And when you're ready, wiggle your fingers and toes to get back in your space. Open your eyes and return to the surroundings. Now carry the calm and connection you've cultivated into the rest of the day. And how was your meditation last week? Tom, you're well lit? How's your meditation been?
Did I attend your meditation last week? I wasn't sure. I think I missed it.
Okay, you missed it.
Yes.
But
But
outside
how,
the sessions, how have you been meditating?
yes, I've been working on it, and I think the introduction to mindfulness and the practice is very helpful. I did attend a session at the Heart of Awareness,
Uh-huh.
so I'm making progress. Don't forget, I'm coming from way out in the wilderness, so
Well,
so
we all have to feel
yeah,
our way through it and
right,
discover what it is like and how we can use it to
right,
open our own doors.
yeah. So I like the listening aspect. I like the relaxation aspect, which is difficult for me to basically get rid of the noise. And I guess you would call it what the monkey
The monkey mind.
monkey mind.
Yes.
But I have touches of it, so there's it is achievable.
Uh-huh.
To what extent is the question? So it's of value and benefit. It's in line with my interest in the
And,
field.
and the benefit continues to expand the more you keep up a regular practice.
Exactly. So that's the task. And I'm really grateful for being in Ahihi and kind of being out of the US and all of the currents of whatever go with that
Mhm.
to a more of a celebratory a
Yes.
period here
Yes.
with the Virgin of Guadalupe and the Navidad, Feliz Navidad, and all of this. So it's a more relaxing atmosphere. And
Yes.
secondly, being near LCS is a very nice garden to walk.
Hmm.
So all of that is helpful.
That's good. Now, how about you, Joyce? How's it been?
So we've been having a water issue since Monday. We haven't been getting water, so that's not good for my meditation. I find it hard to concentrate. We've been getting, some here and there. Like one night I went down lower elevation and got some water from a spigot and brought it back up for the toilets and stuff. And we're supposed to have gotten water since yesterday, but it's not coming. So it's not been good on my meditation. I have a hard time focusing.
Hmm. Well, sometimes you've got to take care of details,
True.
and the details seem pressing. It's still, if you can take, this momentary meditation even within it and stop and take two or three breaths mindfully, it's still, even when you're stressing about the water, it can keep you cool,
True. That is true.
and so I just want to recommend, finding a way to, stop and relax and gather yourself. And sometimes what we're speaking about, this inner voice comes and a solution shows up to a problem that you didn't imagine.
Sometimes that is true.
Yeah. Anyway, okay. Now we have a mid video. This is another video from Alan Watts on trusting the universe.
Well, I have a sort of suggestion, and that is this, that before we decide either to save the planet or to destroy it, we pause for a moment of silence. I don't mean that kind of grim silence which one observes when somebody says, such and such a famous person has just died, and we'll observe a moment of silence in his honor. And everybody frowns and thinks very serious thoughts. That's not silence at all. I mean real silence, in which we stop thinking and experience reality as reality is. There is practiced throughout the world, rather more in Asia than here, although always by a minority of people, a discipline called meditation, which is to get in touch with reality. The word meditation in English doesn't have quite the same meaning, because when we talk of someone meditating, we think of deeply pondering about something. When the Orientals are asked, what do you meditate on? They look slightly puzzled. We don't meditate on anything. We just meditate. In Sanskrit, it is called jhana. In Chinese, it is called chan. In Japanese, it is called zen. And it means, very simply, to stop thinking. Temporarily. Not again that thinking is something bad, but if you don't, you have to stop thinking at certain times. Once you get the knack of that, you can do it even while you're thinking. So you can be a scholar and practice meditation. This is not an anti-intellectual point of view. I imagine that most of you here are either in college or college educated. And the foundation of the intellectual life, good scholarship, requires that you meditate. But in saying that, I have got myself into a linguistic trap. Because you see, I seem to be pitching it to you as if it was something good for you. As if it would give you a better future. As if it would improve you. Now, so long as such motivations and considerations exist, you're not meditating. We talk sometimes about the practice of meditation as if it were like practicing the piano, preparing for a concert. It's much more like the practice of medicine, as when you say, well, I practice medicine. It means you do it every day. It's your way of life. So this is a very odd thing for Westerners to understand, and particularly for Americans, because we are so fixated on the future. When we say we want to put something down, we say it has no future. Well, do you? Much better to have a present. Because if you don't, it's useless to make plans. Because when they work out, you won't be there to enjoy them. You'll be thinking of something else. So this is one activity which is curiously different from all others. It has no purpose. It's rather like music or dancing in that respect. Why do you listen to music? Supposing there would be a culture with no music, would you consider that a high culture? But why do you do it? Well, some people say, well, we go to the concert to improve our minds. Well, if you do it that, you're not listening. As you see, music is peculiar in that it is a marvelous pattern of sounds that doesn't mean anything. There is some inferior music that means something. What we call program music, like the Tchaikovsky 1812 Overture, or some of Debussy's perpetrations, such as the in glutted cathedral, where it's creating visual pictures or imitating natural noises, the beat of horses' hooves or rollings of military drums and the sound of the waves, etc. Just imitation. Now, great music, as composed by Bach or Mozart, or the Hindu music, or some of the great contemporary composers, doesn't mean anything except itself. It isn't going anywhere. Otherwise, the fastest orchestras would be considered the best. So we, in music, become centered. We come into the present. Not a hairline present, mind you. It's an expanded present, because if you had a hairline present, you wouldn't be able to hear one note after another. You wouldn't know what note you'd heard before. So you couldn't hear melody. But in this, you are released into reality. That's why it is said that the angels in heaven have harps, and why they circle the throne of God and sing Alleluia, 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 which, although it does mean hail to the Lord, doesn't really mean anything. When you really get swinging with an Alleluia, it's just Alleluia. You don't think of the meaning of it, you see, because you can't think of the meaning of God. What does God mean? What is God useful for? And so in the same way you can ask, what does a tree mean? What does a cloud mean? What does a fern mean? What's it all about? Well, we've got on all kinds of weird theories that ferns exist in a certain way in order to propagate themselves. Like birds do all this thing in order to lay eggs so that more birds come out. And the whole point of that is that there shall be more birds still. This is a purely engineering approach to life. Which is completely senseless. Things don't mean anything. Birds don't mean anything. Trees don't mean anything. Words mean something, yes, because they point to something beyond themselves. They're signs. But if you take words too seriously, you're like a person who climbs a signpost instead of going where it points. And so if you suddenly say, but my life has no meaning, you're identifying yourself with a word. And that's what we do. If I would identify myself with Alan Watts, that would be identifying myself with a concept, with words. A rather complicated mess of words, to be sure. But still, I would have made that mistake. So then, it has to be understood about meditation that it's not an exercise, it's not a gymnastic, it's not the ordinary sort of self-improvement procedure. And one does it not to be good for you, but just because you dig it. Because at last you find yourself in the center, the eternal now, in which past and future drop away. In which divisions created by words drop away. Can you point to the division between my 5 fingers? Can you, in other words, touch the difference between them? Can't be done. Because the difference is conceptual. True, they can all move independently, but only because they are one with the body, and the body is one with its environment. You cannot separate those. It's like bees and flowers. Where there are no flowers, there are no bees. Where there are no bees, there are no flowers. They look very different, but they are essentially one organism. The head and the feet look very different, but they are parts of one organism. Not really parts. Parts is a mechanical word. Like got any spare parts? The organism doesn't have parts, it has features. Now, there's not very much point in merely talking about this. You can understand it only by doing it. Well,
And that's what we're going to do next is do it. We'll start with a few minutes of meditation. Mindfulness is present moment awareness. Paying attention on purpose in the present moment, non-judgmentally. Fully receive whatever is experienced, then let it go. And open yourself to your inner voice. All right. And the close of the chant. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om. Peace, peace, peace.
Well, thank you, Richard, and enjoy your holiday party too.
Well, we'll be at the party for you. We'll host one to you.
Thank you.
Okay. See
Thank
you
you.
next week. Am I going to have one next week? I think so.
Yeah. Thank you. I
Okay.
really enjoyed the Alan Watts presentation. Is that recorded anywhere?
Yeah, I got it. I cut it from a recording I found on YouTube.
Yeah, because I missed some of it. I had some interference during part of it, but it's a pretty great presentation. Okay. Well, thank you very much.
Yes, thank
Okay,
you.
thank you. And I'll see you next week and have good meditation.
Thank you. Thank you very much.